With a yo-ho-ho, it's TaleOfTheToaster. Welcome to another revisit of an old Let's Play save file. I guess you could say kind of the novelty for the first three games was that it's been so many years since those Let's Plays that it feels almost nostalgic. We're definitely in kind of recent territory now with Go Light. But what the... I just opened the game and I've been ambushed by a random encounter without even being able to move. I upscaled. I haven't even finished my intro yet. And we're doing a match. What on earth? I haven't even said what we're going to do this time. Well, at least we've beaten them, presumably. It's always a funny one revisiting Go 1, because you forget how much they changed going into Chronos Zones and then subsequently Galaxy as well. It does feel like a bit of an entity, and I've always made no secret of it probably being bottom of the list for me in terms of favourite Inazuma games, but it is an Inazuma game, so therefore I still like it a lot. So what I was saying in my intro is that, yeah, I feel a little bit kind of nostalgic doing revisits of Inazuma 1, 2 and 3 in 2021 because those projects happened a long time ago now. The Go project is not that old, but it also still feels really meaningful anyway. I'm going to track down a competition review. I don't really remember where they all are, but I'm just going to pick one. The first one that comes to mind, and we're going to play some matches. So there we go. I think I remembered Tory Vanguard having one, so let's do that. I am indeed fully healed. The significance here is that if you look at the save screen, it says the name Ace. Ace, of course, being short, well, I say of course, it's not that obvious as we go into the gamer route. People who watch the Let's Play will probably already be familiar with the fact that I actually asked my friend Ace2Shoes not just to do multiplayer for this Let's Play, but also actually build me a post-game team. I was thinking that I wouldn't have time to build up a proper team myself for the post-game to take on Eternal Light and all of that, when in the end I actually had plenty enough time to make that happen. But I asked him to make me a very custom team for me to use in the post-game, and ultimately it didn't get all that much screen time because I loved the team that he built, right? He put some randoms in there like Trevia, a lot of the captains that I really like as well, like Nord Snow, Cronus 4 Seasons and Sol Daystar. Love all of those guys. He clearly put a lot of thought into this team and making them good. But we had kind of two problems with it. One was that I really wasn't familiar with who did what, like who was my long shotter, who was my shot block, because I didn't have personal experience with the team, so I was struggling quite a bit. But the main thing is just, if you look at these levels, level 94, 84, 76, 89, although the official team level was what I'd asked for it, what I'd asked for to be on a par with Eternal Light and those kind of teams, they were only really on a par because there were occasional players on this team that were lower leveled than the others, when, yeah, in reality, this had players in the level 90s on it, and it was just making the post-game matches a bit too easy. Like, people actually struggle with Eternal Light and Ancient Darkness, and then especially Zero. So I wanted to make sure that my videos were actually kind of, you know, helpful enough as a guide. So I thought by going into it with this amazing team of really cool recruits that most people wouldn't even have at that point, and then blasting them to bits with a level 90 team, yeah, it didn't quite feel right. So I went back to my own kind of entirely story-based players team that were a lot lower in level to record those videos, and it disappointed a lot of people because Tom's team, Tom, when I say Ace2Shoes, is in fact nowadays TXM Tom Spoors. I've said this enough times in recent videos that hopefully people are able to draw that connection on their own by now. But yes, the same TXM Tom Spoors who's killing it on YouTube right now, he made this team and I loved it. Like, this team genuinely makes me happy to see. But unfortunately it was just that bit too overpowered for the actual videos that I needed from it. So what I wanted to do with this was give them, you know, their proper time in the sun. No one cares if the junior high B team gets blasted by some team of level 90s. No, we're here to utterly meme on this team, and I'm currently trying to do it without even using fighting spirits. Solar Surprise is expensive. Oh my, I guess he's got big moves. I was going to do it anyway though, because this is the only game where Soul actually has Solar Surprise in his level up moveset. I was waiting so long to get this in Chronostone's Wildfire, because it's held in the post-game story area, so I couldn't add it to Soul until after I'd started recording the Desperados arc. Not quite making it. Cronus, Ball, Lightning, and then we'll see which regular shots you can do. I'm avoiding using Fighting Spirits in the interest of making the gameplay look a bit more fun. I've made no secret of Fighting Spirits being way too over-centralizing in this game, and they just don't look that interesting to me. But fortunately these opponents don't have any spirits, so I shouldn't need any either. Maybe I'll bust one out at the end, or go for a cool Fireball Storm from Cronus maybe. But yeah, the point here is to, I guess it's, you know, the project's not that recent. I believe I finished uploading it in 2019. So I guess we're kind of going back 2 years at that point. But yeah, above all, it's a chance to put this lovely team by TXM Tom Spoors into the proper video that they always deserve. Like, if I remember correctly, what were the videos where I used them in? All 3 of the multiplayer videos I did with Tom at least somehow integrated this team. At least I think. Definitely at least 2 of them did. And then, remember the arena gimmicks? They were a thing. I used them against Southern Claw or Northern Fang, whichever one was in this game. That would be Southern Claw, I believe. But yeah, it was through recording those that I realised I had too good of a team on my hands. But now they are here for revisiting Let's Play Inazuma 11 GO Light in 2021, and Adekebe has scored with a flying fish. Howe pet niwe, this brilliant propagaji Newcastle phrases. I've lived in Newcastle for the past 1.5 years and it still doesn't come naturally to me at all. But we carry on, I guess. Wow, Ricardo, you stink. You're meant to be the highest level player here. Level 90 Ricardo doing nothing for us. Or at least I can actually tap on the players and make my squad auto run to them again. I was really missing that in the video I just did on Inazuma 3. Like, no secrets of when these were recorded. I did revisiting Inazuma 1 and 2 back to back, then a long break, and now we're here with, I recorded the Inazuma 3 one a couple minutes ago, and now we're doing Inazuma 11 GO. And then the real question is, what do we do with Chronostones? You can't really revisit Chronostones when the Let's Play only finished less than a year ago. Like, it's definitely not a nostalgia trip. I could definitely play it for the sake of it. I could maybe go into another level 99 competition route. One of the ones that I lost on screen, maybe. Like, I lost Dragon Link, didn't I? So that would be an idea on how I could revisit it. But let's just say we're moving out of lockdown territory at this point, so the long-awaited multiplayer videos that I've wanted to do for Chronostones this whole time, I don't think are too far off at this point. So that might kind of take priority over an actual filler concept. Soul, you can swap for Victor, and I think Victor and Ricardo can swap places because they're not doing too hot. Who do I want to swap Adekebe for? Let's just do a simple switch of positions. So this guy, Snap Breakwater, really like the design. He's got white pawn should I need it. I could block with Wall of Atlantis and then shoot with Emperor Penguin 7. So let's try and get a Spirits-free S rank, if at all possible. Victor, do you have a blocking move? No, you do not. And he needed one. That's, well, it's happening sooner than we thought, I guess. Wall of Atlantis. And then I could kind of chain Emperor Penguin 7 into Doom Dive Drive. See, I'm learning more and more about this team that I never really got the chance to. I clicked that too early. Victor is still incapacitated at the moment on the ground. That's a shame. I was hovering over the S button, but I just accidentally clicked it. Oh, but it's not going to matter, though. Okay, so that works out better. We'll keep a bit of the Victor TP back. It's weird how the music goes completely silent there, right to cut to the goal celebration. That feels a little different than the others. But that's fine. So we've got the rest of this match still to go then. I think we're gradually learning more and more about Tom's team. I'll be able to actually return the cartridge to him now that I've filmed this. He does want it back. I've kept it from him for 2 years. The idea was I bought the game for him. It cost all of about £7. Sent it to him in the post. Then he would play through the game and make this team really cool and then give it to me, and I'd eventually give it back to him when I was done recording everything. But, well, it took me a while to be done recording everything. I was supposed to give it to him at the Chrono Stones multiplayer meetup, whenever that was going to happen, and it still has not. But at the time of recording, it should not be far away, and I am so excited about that. There's the S rank. The pressure is completely gone now. Let's just reflect on Go Light in general, because you guys know I tried not to make it too apparent in the commentary, but I don't think it's especially an unpopular opinion to say that Go 1 probably the weakest Inazuma 11 game. Like, graphically and musically, it's a huge step up from its predecessors. But fighting spirits have always been too over-centralized in this. As soon as you've got a spirit out, you're locked into it. You can either just do the same old dribble or the same old charge until you've got your 5 goals, and you're not leveling up any of your moves or really just doing anything of note. Gameplay feels pretty similar in this one, and the story I always thought was a little overly serious. It's not bad, but it's not the light-hearted fun that I prefer from the other Inazumas. But I wanted to kind of overcome that judgment a bit during the Let's Play itself, right? Because I was thinking, I'd just come off the back of Let's Playing my favourite Inazuma game, Inazuma 11 3. I was like, wow, now I've got to go from my favourite to my least favourite. I hope I actually enjoy doing this and still put enough passion into the project to make it worth watching. But those doubts were silenced within moments. Like, by episode 2, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm fine. Because what I love, I think the Go series has definitely given me more fun with the voice acting than the original trilogy. The original trilogy has Sean Frost, I'll give it that. But Go makes it a lot easier to pick the voices because they're already so diverse, and it taught me a lot.
I think Jade Green's the best example, because why would I ever learn to do a Liverpudlian girl's accent?
But this game gave someone a canonical Liverpudlian girl's accent, so I'm like, well, I don't have a choice here. I've just got to sit down and learn this. The Australian accent as well I needed for Inazuma 3, but I sucked at it for those recordings, so I decided to get better while I was chatting more and more with my Australian friend. And I'm like, you know what, let's just bring this back for the commentator then. I know that's Chrono Stones and not Go 1. There was lots of Italians in Inazuma 3 as well, but Ricardo had his own kind of accent within the accent. He's offside. I was trying to pass more to the side and not directly to Njord, but it just worked out that way. But yeah, I really enjoyed giving all these characters their own character. And hey, you know, the original trilogy had Sean, but this game had Njord and adult Sean, so clearly we were fine. And when you're not overly keen on a story, but you're then put into a position where actually you're kind of in charge of it, you can decide what the characters are going to sound like, what they're going to say to an extent, and develop an attachment to them through gameplay as well. Yeah, I found it really refreshing, and it made me like Go Light a lot more, simply by playing it as a Let's Play. Then I moved on to Chrono Stones, which I always loved to begin with, and I soon quickly forgot again the values of Go 1 because I was back in the territory that I'd wanted. But once again, I've really enjoyed making this video. I didn't bring out a single fighting spirit. I got to try out TXM Tom Spoors' team, and just kicked back and talked about an Inazuma game, which is something I really love to do anyway. I could play a second match, but to be honest, I think that's good enough. I've said everything that I needed to say about Go Light, the Let's Play, the context, and I think if I did another match, it would just be dragging it out for the sake of it. So, we're going to call it there. This has been Tale of the Toaster. I will flick through the actual team itself one more time, now that it's all on one menu instead of having to press X over every single player. That's clearly a nice one. There's Drakeniel. He didn't get to do anything. He was my most requested addition to the team from the comments all the way through that Let's Play. I mean, it was almost entirely Shadow AK asking for him. But he participated in this match, as did Saturn, the favourite goalkeeper of another regular commenter. And neither of them did anything in this video. Maybe that's why I need to do a second match, but no. We're going to call it there. Thank you for watching. I have not decided what we're going to do in terms of revisiting Chrono Stones, because I'm going to focus on the actual required multiplayer videos for now. I think if I do revisit it, it's probably a level 99 competition route that I lost during the actual main project, but just let me know if that's something that you actually want. Let me know in the comments, and we will see you in another one. Bye now.